Hi friends! Here are some of the things that you need to know about Ethiopia, Ethiopians, and Ethiopian culture. So first of all, the food. The main staple in Ethiopia is what is called injera. It's more like a spongy, pancake.
It's like a wet pancake,
A wet pancake.
but it's gluten-free.
It's definitely getting a lot of recognition for being a gluten-free. You will have to eat that with a stew called what? So you basically tear up the injera and just dip it in one of these cuisines, and that's how you eat it.
There aren't utensils used in Ethiopian cuisine. You actually use your fingers, and the injera is actually the utensil. So when you said you rip off a piece and you use that to grab some of the food and put it in your mouth. Yeah.
So, and one of the things that you will notice is people do feed each other. So it's called the gursha. It's actually a sign of respect and closeness with that person.
It's like it's like a handful of food they put in your mouth. It's not just like
so
a
the bigger
bite.
the staple, the bigger the gursha, the better love, and the bigger the love that I have for you.
It's like you're taking your fistful then, and like it's so much.
That's love. That's love. That's how you communicate your love.
I'd say also Ethiopian cuisine has a lot of spices that are new and unfamiliar to me as someone from the USA.
Tell your chef or your waiter to make it a little spicy if you're not into
French spice.
Yeah, French spice if you're not into having spicy things. So the other thing that's really unique about Ethiopia is the weather. So we basically have the dry season and the rainy season. So the rainy season goes up to starting from June, might go all the way up to mid of September. So we have 3-4 months of rainy season, and the rest of the year is considered a dry season. And the temperature throughout the year
is perfect.
Is usually from 65, the lowest, and maybe the highest being 85, and usually no humidity. So there's mainly Christian and Muslim religions. Orthodox Christian being the dominant, and you'll have pretty big numbers of Protestant and also Catholic religions. Although there's more than 84 languages spoken in Ethiopia, the main language spoken is called Amharic, and it's widely spoken all throughout the country.
I think it's easy to think of Africa like desert and animals and safari. But one of the really, really unique things about Ethiopia is it's not flat. There are tons of mountains, and it's beautiful. And certain times of the year, it's like emerald green, and it's beautiful. There's still a lot of dust, so you'll definitely encounter that. But I think the terrain of Ethiopia is stunning. And with all of that dust, don't forget to bring any allergy medication you might need. Also, the regulations for cars are really different than they are here in the USA. And so there was a lot more smog, I felt like. So make sure you bring in your inhaler if you need it. And if you wear contacts, make sure you bring eye drops because all of the dust makes your eyes really dry.
One of the other magnificent facts about Ethiopia is the coffee ceremonies. Having a coffee is not just having a coffee. It's a way of socializing. It's a way of people coming together and encouraging each other and talking about their day and talking about their life. So probably every household that you go to, you'll be invited to a coffee ceremony.
Ethiopia is the birthplace of coffee, friends. Like, they first found coffee in Ethiopia.
Yes.
That's why the coffee ceremony is so big, too.
That's true.
So you get to watch a ceremony where they actually take green beans and they roast it on an open fire in front of you, and you get to smell it. It's amazing. And then they crush the beans in front of you and make the coffee in this thing called a jebana.
So the process takes from any time from half an hour or more,
It's usually more than an hour.
So that's the one thing that if you go to Ethiopia that you have to experience, since it's the birthplace of coffee, and it's really a culture to eat together and feed each other. That's
off the same plate.
Off the same plate. So that's one of the fascinating things about not just having coffee together, but also eating together.
I really love that about Ethiopian culture because it really is about the time with each other, not just filling your bellies.
The other thing that you also might or should be aware of is how you tell time and how you tell calendar. So Ethiopia actually uses the Julian calendar, which is 8 years from the Gregorian calendar.
Behind.
So you'll always be 7 or 8 years younger when you come to Ethiopia. Our day starts at sunrise, and that's 1 o'clock all the way up to 12 o'clock until the sun goes down, and then we have 12 hours of night. So that's a really unique way of telling time that I have not really seen in the other parts of the world.
One of the unique things I love about Ethiopian culture is the beautiful traditional Ethiopian clothing that's made of like hand woven cotton, white or cream with some like color spurts on it. Dresses, shirts, scarves. I'm sure you know more about this.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to different sides of Ethiopia and different regions of Ethiopia, they all have their unique way of dressing. There's 84 tribes and 84 languages in Ethiopia, which means that all these people might have their own ways of dancing.
We'll take you to a really cool restaurant where you can learn more about the traditional clothing and dances, speaking of.
Yes.
You may or may not have an opportunity to go and check out your dance moves up there. Can you tell us about your tribe's clothing?
It's not really that unique.
Pretty sure I saw you in a dress.
That's not my tribe though.
Oh,
it's more of the
I
Afar.
was wearing the dress, it just wasn't tribal.
Oh.
No.
Like, there's not
it's
traditional
so at school what she experienced was at school we have what we call a culture day.